Well, so much for respect for the rule of law. The trial of George Zimmerman has made it absolutely clear that there is no law outside or beyond the dictates and the whimsy of special interest and a corrupt government agenda. Please allow me to examine that which we do know and ignore that which we think we know or that which we imagine that we know. The Sanford Police Department looked at the evidence and chose to not make an arrest. Why? Zimmerman's injuries, combined with 911 calls and witness testimony, all supported the fact that he was a victim of a violent ground and pound. Therefore, it was a clear case of self-defense. Enter special interest. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, other black preachers, Pierce Morgan, Chris Matthews, and the rest of the liberal media, the NAACP, and even President Obama demanded that Zimmerman be arrested and tried. Most of these called Trayvon's death a murder and called Zimmerman a murderer. One pathetic jerk, President Obama, stirred up emotion when he said that if he had a son, he would look like Trayvon. At that time, none knew the truth about what really happened that night. None knew any more than I did. However, unlike them, I had the good sense to admit that I didn't know. These irresponsible and diabolical activities brought enormous pressure on weak-willed and weak-minded government agencies. It caused them to take action, and to their everlasting shame, they did. And their action was inappropriate. What is the fallout from all of this? Police Chief Bill Lee was fired because of political pressure. Prosecutors took inappropriate action and overcharged Zimmerman. During the trial, we saw the lengths that the system will go to in order to destroy an innocent man. When the defense attempted to shed light on the type of person Trayvon really was, by exposing his history of school, drug, vandalism, and other legal issues, the information was not admitted. When the prosecutor's case fell apart, they asked for a lesser charge based on child abuse. Child abuse? How in the world could Zimmerman have known that the much taller Trayvon was only 17 years old? In the end, we learned what Bill Lee already knew. There is no proof that Zimmerman stalked Trayvon. There is no proof that Zimmerman's actions were racially fueled. There is every proof that Trayvon brutally attacked, beat, and injured Zimmerman, and that the whole matter was a case of justifiable self-defense. Bill Lee, now unemployed, was right all along. George Zimmerman, now in hiding, was always innocent. The damage path of corrupt agencies, special interest, and a calculating media is far wider than we can comprehend, and it was planned to be that way. The desired effect has and is being realized. Evil men and women pronounced George Zimmerman guilty until proven innocent. Now that he has been proven innocent, that is not good enough for them. They continue snapping at his heels in the hope of drawing blood. All of this has resulted in a huge division in our country. The division is primarily between white and black. This is evidenced by the anarchists that riot and disrupt and attack in the name of justice for Trayvon. Where is the president's condemnation? Today, July 19th, 2013, President Obama spoke to the press and ran down a long list of how he personally and all black men are regularly and repeatedly mistreated and persecuted by white people. He also supported the ongoing riots, provided that they continue to be nonviolent. Nonviolent? I guess he has not noticed the destruction, the fires, the beatings. His racist attitude labeled all whites, me included, as the problem and supported the idea that Trayvon was murdered and that we, the whites, couldn't care less. Rather than standing behind the decision of the court, he instead chose to fuel the fires of hate and violence and insurrection. Why would he do this? The president is securing the minority and the poverty vote for the left. You can bet that most of the demonstrators do not know the facts, did not watch the trial, but they are secure in the idea that Obama has the backs of the black man, the backs of the minority, the backs of the poor. Bull. During the Zimmerman trial, 60 plus were murdered in Chicago. 60 plus. Virtually all of these were young black men. Nearly all of these were killed by young black men. The majority of the murderers and the murdered had criminal records. If this government and black special interest is truly concerned about the black man and the oppressed, where is their outrage? There is no outrage because there is no associated political gain. Do you think the president, the special interest groups, the media know the names of any of Chicago's dead? The administration has more to gain than just votes. Having lost the court battle, which they worked so hard to manipulate, the Department of Justice is developing a civil rights charge based on racism against Zimmerman. The city, the state, and the Fed have run their investigations, have looked at the evidence, and concluded that race was not a component. This is not good enough for the likes of Eric Holder, our Attorney General, and our nation's most notorious gun criminal. There is yet another prize dangling before this administration. Having recently lost an attempt to force unreasonable gun control on Americans, they are attempting a backdoor approach. Even though the stand your ground defense was not used and did not apply to the Zimmerman case, Eric Holder, empowered by special interest groups, has called for the elimination of all stand your ground laws. Generally speaking, stand your ground laws give any person who is in a place where they have a right to be the option to defend themselves without a requirement to first retreat, and to use force and even deadly force when they are in imminent danger of death or great bodily harm. A repeal of this law will mean that if a person comes to kill or harm you, you will be held criminally liable if you meet that attack with equal force to defend your own life. The right to self-defense is God-given, and your government, thinking that they are wiser than God Himself, is seeking to take it away. Finally, these riots have diverted our attention away from a growing list of scandals, including Fast and Furious, Benghazi, spying on the media, the NSA spying on us, IRS persecution, and the misuse of Homeland Security. And that is a good thing if you are a part of this administration. Today's program is brought to you by, well, me. As a part of my defense training, I offer a course in defensive law. A portion of this course focuses on the abusive powers that arrest and prosecute people who have never broken the law. These include people like George Zimmerman and Pocatello's own John Stratton. The objective of this course is to help people understand when and how they can defend themselves. It also teaches simple principles that just might keep their feet out of judicial bear traps. It is my pleasure to offer this 3-hour course to qualified groups. Please contact me for details. I'm Lance Earl, and you can find me at lanceearl.com. See you soon.